I'm going to record this and I'm going to post it. Okay, I'll make sure you all get a copy of this. So this is even better than writing it down, but I will write it down. Maybe not tonight, but I will write it down. Okay, the first thing is to compare and contrast the first act to the second act in terms of costumes, set, music, mood, all those things. Okay, the other thing is then to identify the 4 elements that are involved in each act. Okay, intrigue. Both of them have intrigue. I'm giving you the answer here. Both of them have intrigue. Only one act has seduction and betrayal. And only one act has mysticism, magic. Okay, so you identify the acts that have them and identify what the seduction was, what the betrayal was, what the magic was, who did them. And then I'd like to also the attitudes of the men in the first act and the attitudes of the men in the second act, the attitudes of the women in the first act, the attitude of the women in the second act. Okay, and then somewhere in there explain why you saw or did not see the beginnings of female empowerment. The idea of women taking charge, being strong, being in control, and in a lot of senses being more powerful than men. And that did happen in one of these acts. Okay. Also, describe the characters in Act 1 and Act 2. For instance, we know the mother was very protective. We know the Hilarion was he was a guy, let's just be friends. So he did some jealous things. He helped contribute to her death. If he hadn't been so shady, I've caught you. Look at this, Giselle. You don't deserve this man. He doesn't deserve you. He killed her. Helped kill her. I mean, so he's responsible also by trying to, by being jealous, really. So talk about him. Talk about Albrecht, the Count. How did he act in the first act? How did he act in the second act? Was he powerful in both acts? Talk about Giselle. How did she act in the first act? How did she act in the second act? Was she weak in both acts? Okay, that's the kind of stuff that I need in the paper. Then I need you to point to examples. This happened at this place. This happened at that place. For instance, part of the seduction was the flower, pulling the flowers. I gave you one right there. And when it turned out she counted, found it was going to be Love Me Not, he pulled one off and told her, count again. You were wrong. Huh?
I have a question. Yeah, so is that assignment like an essay we have to do?
This is your final.
Oh, the final? Okay.
Okay. Now I'm recording this so that you all can get it. And I'll post it on I'll see if I can post it on Blackboard. If I can, I'll send it to you directly through your emails. But this is a material I'm asking you for in that final paper. It needs to be between 500 and 750 words. Closer to 750 than 500, please, if you're going to answer all this stuff and really make it make sense. And especially if you're going to talk about empowerment. If you don't see an empowerment, talk about why you don't. And use examples in the ballet to show why there was no empowerment. If you see empowerment, talk about what you saw and why this leads you to believe that this is one of the early works that showed female empowerment. And it is, so give me a ready. Okay, so you all have Giselle. It's on Blackboard, and I've sent it to you all. I would advise you, if not to watch it again, at least to reference it. Because that's the way you're not going to remember that the flower thing, or you may not remember when the first time you saw her get weak, overheat. I mean, so those are the kind of things that you'd have to talk about her being, you talk about her personality. Okay. Now, who's the iPhone person? Who's the iPhone person? Okay, good. No, as long as I know it's you.
Me.
Thank
That's
you,
me.
sir, Mr. Corbin. Thank you.
Oh, I thought you mean like who has iPhones.
No, baby, you're fine, Cynthia. Okay, so let's do this. Because MJ is gonna take the role for me. Okay, what's the question, darling? We need to find a more quiet place if we're gonna talk. Hello? Does anybody else have a question? I'll go over this one more time, but I'm gonna send you the video that I'm recording now, so you have it. The paper has to be between 500 and 750 words. That's like a page and a half. Boom, okay?
Sorry to cut you off. Is there like an article or like another video reviewing the second part of Giselle? Because I don't understand, and all I know is that she died.
Uh-huh. Well, that's what we'll talk about then. You want to talk about it? Let's talk about it. That's why I'm here, because okay, what happened was this. She died, yes, and you're probably not the only one that says, okay, well, what the fuck happened? Especially if you didn't watch it with us. What happened in the first act is very clear. Okay, who betrayed who seduced who died. Now she dies. Okay, the thing about this time period, which was 500 years ago, 1500, Middle Ages, well, really the end of the Middle Ages, in Germany, but you didn't go in the woods at night. All those fairy tales, Snow White, Hansel and Gretel, all those things took place in the forest. They took place at night. The strange shit happens at night in the forest. Now, what really happened in the forest at night, if you went out there, you may be eaten by packs of dogs. You may be murdered by robbers, you know? Okay. Yes, Jason, you're brilliant. Yes, it's based off of morbid stuff. Jason, you're absolutely right. None of those fairy tales are sweet. Damn, they're ugly. And you're absolutely right. It happened off of morbid, crazy stuff. Hansel and Gretel, what happened? The lady trapped him. Ugly ass hell. You got it right. What happened? The woman trapped them and had the girl help her fatten up the boy so she could cook him. That was the whole purpose.
Dark symbolic thing around Hansel and Gretel, especially with Snow White. That was very dark.
Very dark.
A lot of fairy tales were
Sleeping Beauty's dark.
Cinderella was dark too.
Cinderella was dark. Okay? So all these things happened back then. Hold on. Yes, sir. I'm teaching, so make it very short.
Of course.
Go what? Soul Bossa Nova? Okay, we'll talk about it another time, okay? Thank you. Yeah. That's my son. We have a magazine together, and he's a good kid. I have to say, it's a real good kid. He just tells a long story, longer than me. So you know those are long ass stories. Okay. Now, absolutely right. Jason, you're a very smart man. I'm so proud of you. What he's saying is absolutely true. None of these stories are nice. This is a nice story. Some guy comes into your town, pretends he's poor, abuses you, and then you drop dead.
You see? It has the same little thing.
Okay, well, who has the same little thing? I didn't say anything about I didn't say anything about anything personal. Anyway, thank you, darling. I'm just playing with you.
I feel like those stories that resonate around the European area has a deeper meaning. Like
well, have a deeper meaning. And let's also figure out that I'm trying to tell you, Europe back then was, you know what the bubonic plague was?
It was dark, I know.
Bubonic plague happened around the 1500s, maybe a little earlier, probably happened a little around 1300s. But what the bubonic plague was, and when you see the Nutcracker, the mice, the king rat and all that kind of stuff, what happened back then? rats ran all through your house, especially at night. The beds were really high, and people didn't go downstairs into like the room where the dining room, living room, and kitchen were, especially. There was no
Wait.
refrigeration. Rats ran all through your feet.
Wait,
When
you
you
know,
went to the market was outside. Rats were running around through the market, eating stuff that got dropped.
I think there was a reason why as to like there was an uncontrolled rat population.
Well, because
Because
they weren't clean and they left garbage all over the place.
and also it has to do with what they did to the so basically I found out recently that there was a priest that was doing some like that had this crazy imagination that cats were devils, so they was basically killing like cats all around, and that caused the rat
Well,
population.
yeah, I imagine it did. Imagine the sore. And,
Yeah.
and so you have idiots like that, you know? Well, same thing happened in the old days. If you had something like you had the flu, the best way to get rid of flu was to bleed you, to put leeches on you and suck your blood, because they got rid of bad blood.
Yeah.
Just made you weaker and made you die faster. Now, what happened in this story? In the Act 2, yeah, Cynthia, this is for you and anybody else who didn't get Act 2. And I'll also send you a paper I wrote for a magazine, my magazine. But what happened in Act 2 was she died and they buried her in the woods. And so what happened? She didn't go to hell or heaven. I think she went to purgatory. That was her purgatory. She ended up with all these other women who had been killed by their men. You gotta turn that off, lady. Thank you. That's
I didn't need it. I want to buy it.
okay. Now, so she went to a place between heaven and hell, which was full of women who had already been hurt by men. And so their whole goal was to fix these mothers. Shada, or wherever could you please keep your phone off? Mute yourself, honey. Stay muted, unless you have a question, and then you need to be in a quieter place. I'm glad you're here. I really am, and you've been consistent about coming. It's just said you need to be someplace quiet. Okay, so what happens in Act 2? She's like a ghost, an evil ghost. And that's what all those women with her hate men. They did something stupid to them. So they're getting their revenge. So any man that comes in the forest at night, they dance him to exhaustion and then drowned him in the lake.
Oh.
So you see the first guy that came in, he's the guy who was who let's just be friends, I call him. He came in and what happened? They danced him to death and drowned him in the lake. And so when Giselle is she's unveiled, and now she's part of this covenant of murderous ghosts. The next man that comes in the forest is Albrecht. And they're going to do the same damn thing to him. He has no power now. All the women there can kill him. Unlike in Act 1, where he had a sword, he was, he was a duke.
Mm-hmm.
Here he has no power. He's more helpless than Giselle was in Act 1. And what happens? She saves him.
Oh.
And the whole time they're still trying to kill him, she stands in front of him, please don't hurt him. Because she still loves him. She just knows now she's a ghost and she can't have him, but she still loves him. And she doesn't want to see any harm come to him. So at the end, what happens? The sun starts to rise. And all the women have to go back to their graves. And so Giselle goes back to her grave. And I believe that she went on to heaven from there. This is her end of her purgatory or whatever. But he's left now. He's the girl crying in her grave because she left him. Total reverse, role reversal. That's really basically what I've told you where it is. You find the places where it happens in the story. Tell me. That's what Act 2 is about. The fact that there was an empowered woman. They did, they were able to do that kind of stuff. And you can also pull up, I think I sent you a synopsis of Giselle. That should be with the sub. What I'm going to do, everybody, is I'm going to send you the synopsis for Giselle. I'm going to resend it in a few minutes. I'm going to send you the article I wrote on Giselle. It's not that long. I don't like to write too long. Nobody reads things anymore. And then I'm gonna send you the movie again. No, the movie's up. I don't have to send that again. Okay, or maybe I will. Okay, and I'm gonna send this video because this tells you everything you need to know for the story. Okay.
Okay, that kind of makes sense. Thank
Does that
you.
make sense to you, darling?
Yeah, thank you for explaining the second part.
No, the whole story makes a lot more sense, doesn't it?
Yeah.
He was all powerful in the first act, and he ended up being the girl crying on the ground in the second act.
Which is ironic.
It's how life is,
Yeah.
Look at Kim Kardashian and crazy Kanye. Crazy yay. Yay. Yeah, I mean, he had more money than she did originally. Now he's lost 2 million of his 6 billion. And nobody wants to work with him.
Hey,
So sometimes the mighty do fall,
that's what happens when you do too much.
Well, that's what happened here. See, my idea in the beginning, when this guy comes into this village, he's done this all over the place. He's probably the father of the year. Got kids all over, Germany. Goes in, dresses like a peasant, suave still, seduces somebody, knocks those boots, and then gets on his horse and rides away.
Mm-hmm.
So that basically is what kind of person is that? Has no conscience, doesn't care. He's got a fiance. So he's just having fun. And back then, women had no say. Every man had a mistress or 2 or 3. Women had no say. Wasn't like you were going to go on divorce court and stand there and call him names. Oh, no. Okay, so does anybody else have any other questions?
No questions.
Well,
When is this due?
No, but you did a great job. I'm very proud of you. Thank you. Because you probably weren't the only one who didn't understand the whole thing. Does anybody else have a question?
What is the paper due?
The paper is due. Okay. Let me see, 2 weeks from today. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
So today is what, Monday, the 28th, on the 12th. Okay. That'll give me plenty of time to read it and process it and let you know if there's a problem. Now, I'm going to be online next week, and I hope you all are, just to begin the class. If something happens and I'm not going to be online, I will let you know. But technically, we may have one more class together. We may not need to if everybody's got this. If anybody needs a tutorial, I'll be online for you. But or I'll be on the campus with MJ. Okay, so I'll let you know where I'll be. And if you have a problem, you can meet with me. If you don't,
I have a question. Sorry.
aha, yes.
When are you gonna post the final?
When I post the final grades,
Yeah, when are you gonna post it?
about a week after I get everybody's paper.
Okay, right.
Okay, because the semester's not technically over. I'm thinking around the 14th or something like that. And so that gives, and I have to turn the grades in around the 21st. So I'll turn them, I'm gonna try to turn them in before the 21st, because I have a lot of work after that. Okay, so Tyra, Tyra.
Hello.
Hey, how you doing, darling?
Good. How are you? I'm sorry I
good.
came in late. I couldn't log into the link for some reason.
Well, don't worry about it. Stay on with me. I'm gonna let everybody else go. Does anybody want to stay on? They have any questions?
Yeah, Professor
Okay, I'm listening.
Rachel.
Yes, Rachel.
But I wanted to talk to you after, like one-on-one.
Okay,
And it's quick. Yeah.
okay. So,
Have a great night, Professor.
okay, right, okay, hold on. MJ, you get the roll before anybody goes?
Oh, yeah, I got everybody.
Bless you, darling.
And also,
Okay.
did you want me to stay on after so we could talk about the final outline?
Who's this? Who's this?
MJ.
Yeah. I mean,
Did you get my name? Because my name is on the iPhone. I can't
Corbin.
change it.
Mr. Corbin.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. So why don't we do this, MJ? You stay here for a second.
Okay.
Can we talk on the phone? You call me in 10 minutes?
Yeah, that should be fine.
Okay, I'll tell you why, because this way I can answer Tyra.
You can answer her first and I'll just
Yes.
wait. If that's okay.
Tyra, I'm not we went over all the material. I know you had a hard time giving on. I'm gonna,
Right.
okay, so what we're gonna do is this. My telephone number is on the syllabus.
Okay,
Okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm recording everything that happened today. I'm gonna send it to you.
okay,
I'm gonna post it on Blackboard. If you go over this, you'll know everything you need for the paper.
okay, perfect. Thank you.
If you have any questions, that's why I'm recording it. Then if you have any questions, then you just ask me when we speak.
Gotcha.
So
And
the only
do we
person I
have
need-
class next week? I'm sorry.
I'll let you know by Thursday, okay?
No
Is it-
problem. I'm sorry. I missed class last week. I'm sorry because I had a funeral I had to go to in Florida, and then on the way back I got COVID. So I missed last week and the week
All right,
before.
I'm gonna tell you something. As long as you turn in all the papers that are due by this Friday, I won't, if you have anything, ones you haven't turned in,
Okay.
please turn them in. This way you can get full credit.
Okay. Thank you, Professor. I appreciate it.
Okay, what I'm gonna do with the video, Jason, I think that is who asked me. I'm gonna send it both ways. I'm gonna put it on a Blackboard and I'll send it through your CSI emails, okay?
Okay.
Does that work for you, Jason? Okay. No, that's all I appreciate. No, if you need, that helps you, that's perfect for me. Okay? Now I'll see you all later. Rachel, you need to speak to me?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll see you all later. Thank you so much. Cynthia, thank you for asking a question, because I'm sure you weren't the only one, okay?
Thank you, Professor.
Thank
Goodbye.
you, Professor.
Everybody have a great one. I'll see
Thank
you
you,
next week.
Professor.
Thank you
You
all.
too,
Thank you all.
Professor.
Okay, very good.
I could stay on if you'd like to talk about this stuff.
No, I'll tell you why, because Rachel has a personal question. Is it personal question?
Correct. Yeah,
Yes?
it's personal.
So I'd rather talk to her. Now, MJ, you can call me back in 10 minutes if you need something. I'll see
Okay,
what,
want me to call you on your phone to talk about that?
yeah, we're gonna set the outline, right? For the paper, right?
Yeah,
Okay, so yeah, just call me back in 10 minutes on my phone.
okay, no problem.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. Okay, what's up, Doc?
Did the recording stop? I wanted to ask you that before.
Okay, hold on. Okay, more. No, it hasn't stopped yet.
Yeah. 'cause
Okay,
it
so
says
hold on,
still
let me see if I can stop it, okay?
recording.
Later.
Okay.
No, thank you. You've been a very good student. It's been my pleasure having you in my classes, okay?
Thank you.
So I'll speak to you soon.
All right.
Have a great evening.